Hello, beautiful Leos. These are going to be your messages for the month of, well, 2 or 3 months, July, August, and September, or thereabouts. But even though they're coming out in July, they may not make a lot of sense to you until 2 or 3 months from now. And I've said this message consistently throughout every single sign. That seems to be the way things are going to go with my messages. You can't really put a message in a box in a time frame. It doesn't work that way because it's energies. So you are my last sign, and I want to say this to you, and I feel extremely honored to know you. I'm going, wow, why am I saying this message? And I know I'm supposed to say it, even though I don't understand logically why I'm saying this. So actually, I'm going to ask what the message is. I have two Leos in my life, and they're one of my most important people in my life. And with that, of course, I am absolutely, they're my love. But there's something about, okay, this is about, oh, okay, thank you. This is about you acknowledging you for who you truly are. And this is a message for those of you who continually practice being extremely hard on yourself. If this is the case, if this is the case, I have a feeling you will go through something very transformative over the next little while. Nothing bad. Quite on the contrary, that will allow you to see just that, just how wonderful you really are, just how precious you really are, just how incredible you really are. And I'm saying to you, whoever you are, because you need to hear this, because you do not give yourself enough credit for who you are. So Spirit is wanting you to know that you are more than what you believe in your current state of awareness. You are more precious than all the diamonds in the world. And it is inherently important that you begin to accept that and acknowledge that and then accept it, because everything else stems from there. I have this nostalgic feeling coming over me right now, and there is this whole bunch of sadness, but it's not because something bad is going to happen, but because I feel like I'm leaving an aspect of you that has always been me. I'm you now, and I feel like I'm leaving that behind. And I will term this as a sense of identity. So when we go through transformations, and as a matter of fact, number 13 was shown to me, which is the death card, which is transformation. When we go through transformations, we often let go of an old doom impending belief system, whatever the doom impending means to you. I think I know what it means. Things begin. So when we go through transformations, we often let go of an erroneous belief system we have about anything, whatever you happen to struggle with or believe that doesn't necessarily serve you. And I feel like I'm approaching a point where I'm reaching the threshold of finally letting that go. And it is letting that go that makes me feel nostalgic, but actually makes me feel almost a little bit sad. And it's sad because it's something that I've always depended on as my own safety blanket or security. So if you have had a lot of insecurities about you and who you are, that in a strange way has been your security blanket, part of your identity. And letting go of that identity can feel like you are losing something. Some people call it ego death. I have experienced what I believe was ego death on few occasions. Not an easy process. It's actually quite frightening, but it's not because anything was taken away from me. It's because I was in a level of consciousness where I began to let go of what I thought was mine, and what I held on to so dearly as my safety and security. And the sheer letting go of that was very terrifying. It's just like taking away a blanket from a baby. When it's safety and security, take it away from the baby begins to cry because it's losing something it depends on. So I am not predicting you losing anything at all. As a matter of fact, you're gaining so much in return. What if you are losing, if anything, is your old, outdated identity. And oftentimes it comes through change of circumstances or shift of circumstances. So the number 13 signifying death, there seems to be considerable change in some aspect of your life. Again, that does not mean anything bad. I explained earlier to another sign that you can be moving to a brand new job in a different city and it's exciting, but the change may be very scary because all your inadequacies will come up to the surface and you'll be you'll be excited, but you'll also be scared. So that's that's an example of that. Doesn't mean anything bad. But I am staring at 2 of Wands in reverse, which does tell me that there is a change of direction, or there is an upcoming change of direction, or perhaps you are wanting a change and you do not know either how to go about that change or what that change should be as of yet. At the end of the day, whatever that is for you will become crystal clear. I want to say by the end of October. You are, I think, the 3rd or 4th time where I'm referencing end of October. So I don't know why it is the end of October. Maybe those of you who are versed in astrology or the planets, you can comment down below, because I don't know. I feel it's the result of the implications of the energies that we are experiencing, which seem to be very, very, very potent in terms of transforming our lives. That a lot of growth looks like it's going to happen over the next 3 to 4 month period. And it's not just for you, Leos, it's for everybody. So I would love an astrologer or someone who is who understands astrology. I would love someone to comment and tell me if there's actually a planetary position that is making this happen, or at least that's part of the explanation. Is there another message that I want to say with this? Okay, so there is definitely a change coming up, and transiting out of and into something new. For general numbers of you, this is going to be career related, but for others of you, this is going to be path related. Path could be in a relationship, in a job, of course, could be a different school, different training path. You're on a certain path and there's a change in path, whatever that path means to you. I'll go through some of the cards that I have, although I feel like it's just going to flow. Mr. Fox comes up. So when I tuned into Mr. Fox, and this is an earth symbol. So this is going to be very symbolic in your physical life. It's your relationships, it's your jobs, it's your friendships, it's your possessions, physical aspects of life. And when I looked at this fox, I felt like he was motioning me with his eyes to follow him, except I don't know what it is, why am I following him, and he's asking me to trust him. So the fox to me represents either a source of what do I want to say? A source of something inside you that says you want to follow something, or someone comes into your life that asks them to trust you, for you to follow them, and they're going to show you something very important. Whatever this is for you, the fox is an incredible teacher. And over the next 3 or 4 months, or let's say until the end of October, you will learn something incredible about yourself, something you didn't deem important at first, and or something you didn't believe you had in you. Whether it is a quality that comes out in the open to you, might be a healing ability, or simply something that you're going to learn about yourself as a result of following whatever this fox means for you. It could also mean your intuition. When I read about the fox, one of the things I want to say is that foxes don't do very well in solitary confinement. Well, not in confinement. In confinement, yes, but in solitary. Foxes make incredible partners, and they like to be part of a group. So this is an indication as well that if you have a tendency to be a loner, chances are, if you're a loner, it's A, you like it, but B, you're maybe trying to hide from people for whatever reason. The message here is to come out in the open a bit, whether it is about yourself in terms of who you are, about your a personality you've been hiding, a certain gift, a healing gift perhaps that you have. There's something incredible here that you are going to learn. Life is going to teach you something incredible, not something bad, something incredible. And your job in this is to trust. The tendency, so however it appears to you in life, the tendency will be to go into your mind and trying to figure it out. Chances are you will not be able to figure it out, because whatever it is that this is leading you to is something you have no frame of reference for. So whenever we go into our mind, our frame of reference is always the past. It's what we've experienced, what we thought, what we read, what we saw. It has been part of our experiences. And I feel whatever this is for you is something that has been hidden for you from your own awareness. And you are expanding, you are going through birth and expansion like we all are, which means you will not only be having new beginnings, but through these new beginnings, you will begin to expand your understanding of who you are as a person, and also what you believe. So there's something beautiful that's happening. So this fox may come to you as a sense of intuition of you needing to follow some gut feeling, okay? Hence, it may be why you are not sure what it is, or you're not sure if it's the one for you, or you're not sure, you're doubting. There is absolutely a trend change coming up, path change, absolutely path change. But it's kind of showing up in this position. It doesn't seem to be very solid. As I pick up the card, another card that looks at me is faith. So we talked about trust. I mean, do I need to say more? And okay, this is like a never-ending story. And then the Empress. So birth and expansion. I think I'm just going to continue with my message. Now I feel like I want to scream because I'm so excited. So on one hand, I was feeling this nostalgia and almost sadness. But on the other hand, I'm feeling this excitement, and I feel like I'm going to burst out of my bubble. So this is an indication of a transition. When we go through transition, oftentimes shit will come up to the forefront, or to the surface. And when shit comes up to the surface, it's a lot easier for us to see it, and therefore to deal with it once and for all. So as we go through transitions, certain things will come up, and it will feel like you are purging. What does that mean? You might feel mentally and emotionally all over the place. That means that you are clearing emotionally. For others of you, and mentally, for others of you, it is important to adhere to a very simple yet very clean and simple diet. And I'm being asked to say, as we are energetically shifting our vibration, our vibration becomes pristine, very, very clear. So it is important that we support this process by eating clean. And I'm going to myself, very funny, because yesterday I had an episode where, because I eat very clean, mostly vegetarian, I eat fish. So my diet has changed in the last 6 months, literally 180. Completely out of the blue. My body just decided this is what's going to happen. But yesterday I had a bit of an episode where I ate sugar, and I don't do well with processed sugar. So this message is hitting me as well. Very funny. Thank you. Okay, I got the message. So it's important for you to stay clean as much as you can. This is perhaps a message for some of you to get rid of junk in your diet and to support your new growth, support the expansion. And the expansion is first and foremost on an energetic level. If you are putting food in your mouth that is low vibration, or if you are watching things and news and shows that are of low vibration, that are filled with negativity, then you're not supporting your growth, which will it'll make it a little bit more challenging. You're just not going to feel as good. So cleanse is hugely important. For some of you, you might want to think about doing like a juice cleanse, or some sort of herbal cleanse. There's a cleanse here that's indicated. Get the toxicity out of your liver. The liver stores a lot of emotional garbage in terms of negativity, suppressed anger, suppressed resentment. So it's important to cleanse that. I am not a doctor, so please don't listen to a word I say unless you do your own research and make sure that it's okay with your physical physician or practitioner. But it's being indicated, so it's important for me to mention it. Okay, let me go through some of the cards here, even though I feel like I don't need to. Some of the areas that might be affecting you. The Ace of Wands shows up with the Five of Wands in reverse and Six of Coins in reverse. So I'm seeing it as a story. Let me tell you what I feel here. So the Ace of Wands to me signifies a brand new beginning that is still in a process of solidifying itself, which means it's not here yet. It will be here in a short order. And again, the Two of Wands is indicator that there is going to be a new beginning. But it also signifies to me letting go of something else in order to proceed with this new beginning. And because it's showing up to me in reverse, I'm hearing it is because you are still in transition. And whatever that is, transition to a new school, transition to a new job, transition to a new environment, transition. We are all in transitions. But it's what's indicated here is two key areas. Thank you. Woo, I can say it. Work and relationships. So you are either transitioning into or out of either existing relationship or a relationship that existing relationship, but there's an association here with this relationship. What is it? Or the way things are in a relationship. So you might be in a relationship and things just may have been kind of status quo, and you will transition out of that phase and into a brand new phase where things begin to spark up again. For others of you you are moving out of a dead-end job and you're moving into something that you are much more qualified for, or you are moving into requalifying yourself, therefore gaining new qualifications so that you can have this different path or this different choice. So the Ace of Wands, even though it's showing up to me in reverse, it is absolutely indicating something that is in the process of becoming in your reality, but it isn't here yet. The Five of Wands, to me, I hear the word oppression, okay? So you may be feeling, you may have been feeling at conflict with yourself for a prolonged period of time. We all have conflicts within ourselves. That's just part of our human experience, human understanding. But what this card is signifying to me is that it is you letting go of conflict, whether it's letting go of conflict you have within yourself or the conflict you have with another. Perhaps you are moving out of a job that you have conflict with someone, and that movement out of it will indicate you also letting go of that conflict. But for majority of you, I feel this is inner conflict. This is the inner conflict that stems from the belief, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Or I am not good enough? Now remember when I talked about the fox, because I'm being reminded to say this, he or she is an incredible teacher. And this fox is showing up because it wants to teach you something about you. And I already said it was something incredible. And if you come from a belief, am I enough or I'm not good enough, chances are you will be conflicted within you about many things that you do in life or want to accomplish. And I feel that through this transition, Mr. Fox, however he appears to you, could be purely by intuition, is going to show you that whatever you had conflict with before about yourself is going to disappear. It's going to be gone. And part of it is because we are entering these new energies of higher vibrations where our lower vibration qualities, lack-based belief system, not good enough, not special enough, inadequate, yada, yada, you know, the stories we tell ourselves. Part of it is that new frequency will have a tendency to push things out of your consciousness, but as these things leave your consciousness, anything that is attached to it in a physical form either leaves with it as well or transforms itself. So it's all tied together. I'm going to try not to repeat because then I think I would bastardize the message, but I'm going to just leave it and hope that this is going to make sense to you. It's all so exciting. Like, I'm so excited for you. It's not even funny. And I feel like many of you have been trying to pull this weed out of your garden for a long, long time. When I say weed, it's a metaphor of something that is persistently just there and it's annoying you. And could be a person, could be a situation, but more than anything, this is going to be some sort of a belief you have that's based on inadequacy about you. And my son is Leo, so the fact that I am hearing this, it makes me want to cry with absolute gratitude for this message, because, well, we all want our kids to feel confident, right? It's, you know, and anyway, so the Six of Coins is all about holding back, not having enough. Same message. If you feel you are not enough, you're going to hold yourself back from opportunities. If you feel you have not enough, you will not have enough to give to others. So you will have a tendency to withhold emotionally. You will have a tendency to withhold financially. You will have a tendency to withhold, period. That withholding comes from a feeling of lack or feeling of inconsistencies around safety and security. So any sort of beliefs that are showing themselves in your life as you holding yourself back in any way, shape, or form. Remember, you're limited. The only limitations you have is the one you put on yourself. And I'm not talking about physicality of being in a 3D world, but what you believe is what you create. So if you have any sense of limitations about yourself, and I know you do because you're a human being, it's just part of this journey, chances are a lot of these things will be transitioning out of your life. Yes. I don't know how it's going to happen. For each one of you, it's going to happen differently. For some of you, you may go into some sort of a healing ceremony. And for some of you, literally, you may go to a plant ceremony, like something like with ayahuasca. And you may come out of this ceremony as a completely changed person. Even though you might have been a skeptic, you will experience something that goes beyond your level of critical understanding or of critical logical understanding. And as a result of that, you will literally shed your own skin overnight. This is not me saying go out into the Amazon and participate in those things, because that's not what it's about. If it calls you, you'll know it. If it doesn't call you, not for you yet. Okay, it's pretty much that simple. But that's indicated for some of you. So the fact that it's coming into my consciousness, it's going to be true for some of you. And I'm also saying this because the card of energy transmission is also looking at me, indicating first with the number 10, you are, again, just like all the other signs, and I'm getting, ringing in my ear. Okay, several messages with that. 10 indicating an end of a cycle. And also this card indicates, energy transmission. You are in the process of healing, whether you are conscious of it or not. We all are, whether we willingly participate in it, or it is, we are the receiver of it just by, being next to another person. We are all in the process of healing. And for some of you, this is, what's indicated is communication with with other species. Yes, I said it. And communications with beings outside of the norm. So this is you, well, let's call it channeling. Some of you are channelers, or you are beginning to realize that you are a channeler, and perhaps this is the fox is trying to show you that. Perhaps the fox is going to show you that this is something you perhaps thought was not possible, or deemed unimportant, or thought that you were crazy. So there's going to be a message for some of you on that. Others of you, it's about practicing more inner healing work in your life by practicing loving self-care. Very interesting. If you have a belief system that stems from not being good enough, chances are you would limit how you care for yourself. That's, that just kind of goes hand in hand. So that's also what comes up. What else do I see with this message? Be patient. Growth can often, you guys hear this, growth can be painful. When a child grows and it goes through its growth periods, it can feel painful at times. So painful moments don't necessarily indicate something is happening that's bad. Painful moments indicate often a time of growth. And what is it that I want to say with this message? There's something very healing about this message, and I can't find the words. Let me just tune into it, please. Okay. Many of you are psychic. Well, I'm going to rephrase. All of us are psychic. Many of you are very gifted when it comes to your psychic gift. It's important that you embrace it at this time. It's no time like the present. Why? Number one, it's going to become more and more apparent to you. So either A, you learn how to trust it and begin to use it, or B, you're going to be bombarded with messages and feelings that you don't trust are yours, and you're going to drive yourself crazy. When you try to push something away that is inherently a part of you, it only creates conflict. Which brings me back to this card again, inner conflict. If you have inner conflict, what are the things that you are conflicted with? There's probably many. There's not enough time in a day to talk about this, but there's probably many. But if you had a conflict within yourself, one that stands out the most, what would it be? And then imagine what would life be like if that aspect of you was not there. Imagine what that would be like. Probably quite magnificent. Anything else I want to say here? Don't hold back with your emotions. It's really important that you acknowledge how you feel. No, it doesn't mean that you get angry and you go punch somebody in the face on the street. No, that would not be appropriate use of that. But it is important that you acknowledge your feelings and emotions at any time, but particularly at this time. Why? Because this is not a time to stuff our feelings or emotions. Our feelings and emotions is what creates our reality. So if we have a whole bunch of stuff, unexpressed emotions, those are essentially what's the word I want to use? Vortices of energies. They're not gone anywhere. They're kind of stuck in your energetic field, in your aura. And just because you choose not to think about them doesn't mean they don't exist. They still exist, and they are part of your everyday creation. So it's important not to hold back your feelings, and to be okay with expressing those feelings in a way that you deem is fitting in your life. You don't have to go outside and and cry in front of everybody, but you can take some time out and close yourself in your room for 10 minutes and have a good cry. And that cry will allow you to have an energetic release. And the more releases you have like that, the more garbage that's stored away is going to be cleared out of you. The less garbage, energetic garbage you have, the less that garbage is responsible for creating your future. You guys know what I mean by this. So essentially, this is a message of no time like the present to acknowledge all of you, including the things you wanted to hide from in the past. Because those serve us, our shadows. And Spirit said this to me: shadow is your strength in the making. And when I heard that, I thought That's a pretty deep message, and it took me a while to kind of dive into it. So just kind of sit on that message for a while. Your shadow is your strength in the making. And what are your shadows? And if there are strengths in the making, what are those strengths that are trying to manifest out of your shadow? And then I'm being asked not to over-explain. Fantastic message. I couldn't be more pleased with the way it's coming out. I feel like my heart is just opening up. Some of you may feel this slight sensation on your chest, and it may feel almost a little bit like you wanting to cry. So that's an energy, that's coming through. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm being told I do it. And it will affect those of you, particularly those of you who are quite sensitive, and a lot of you are. So let that sink in. And I want to say these words before I part ways with you. Congratulations on your new beginning. And whatever that means for you, if it's meant for you over the next few months, you will know, okay? And with that, I wish you best of luck. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of, please take care of yourself. And if you would like to have a private session with me to help you figure out what that means in your personal life, that information is down below. Thank you again so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and for commenting. I read every single one of your comments. Please take care. I wish you well. Lots of luck and love. And until later, until the next time, see you soon. Bye.